right, folks. Today's the day. Today's episode is going to be a little bit broken, as they like to call it. Welcome back to Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Skylar Sigdaddy Sigmund, joined by J.O. How the heck are you?
I'm good, Sigdaddy. I am good.
And we're going to get into the broken universe today. And what a match that you could say kind of revolutionized professional wrestling and kind of the art of the cinematic match, right?
I would agree. I remember people were saying after seeing the Firefly Funhouse match and the AJ Styles match with the Dead Man, the final Deletion walked, so those matches could run.
And I don't think these matches would have been possible without this match.
Oh, I agree 100%.
And also, I don't think Matt and Jeff Hardy returned to WWE without this match.
No, because it kind of showed what they were still capable of and how much of the fans were still behind them. I think the WWE took note of that.
Yeah, for sure. And I forgot to mention at the beginning, but this is going to be a watch-along episode. So J.O. and I are going to watch this match and give our commentary as we go along. We'll leave the match link in the description, so make sure to watch along with us here on Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show. But we have to go over a little bit of news from this past week, but most recently, today, as we're recording, this is April 25th, Monday night. It's been 20 years to the date since Randy Orton's debut on WWE television. He defeated who, J.O.? No
Was
idea.
it? Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. I was going to take a shot.
Take a shot.
I think I saw a few videos on the thumbnail. And was it Holly?
Yes. Good job.
Okay.
Hardcore Holly. Back on April 25th, 2002. That was on an episode of SmackDown where Randy Orton won with a, I think, roll-up. 20 years later, what a ride it's been for him. Lots and lots of world championships and titles. Currently the Raw Tag Team Champions with Matt Riddle. And they're going to go not 1-on-1, but 2-on-2 against the Usos at WrestleMania Backlash to unify the tag championships. But so before we get into this broken universe, what are some of your favorite Randy Orton moments?
Man, there's just so many. I personally liked his Survivor Series match, Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. I think Orton was good in that. Sold a hell of a
2003.
Yeah, sold a hell of a stunner, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And really, honestly, any RKO.
Pretty much, there's you can take your pick. There's a one on Carlito. There's a one on Evan Bourne. There's a couple recently that you could say too. But all those RKOs, some of the matches he's had, there's some been pretty good ones. I like a little bit of a guilty pleasure match, I guess if you would call it that, is the Survivor Series 2004 match where he, I think, was down 3-1 or 2-1 or something. It was Edge and Triple H against him at the end, and Orton won. He ended up RKOing Triple H to pin him and win the Survivor Series tag team match in Survivor Series 2004. He was early on in his Survivor Series run. He was the MVP. 3-0 his first three.
I think also another one was when Evolution first started. I really liked him in there. The feuds that came out of that.
Mick Foley. The hardcore match from Backlash 04.
Yes, yeah.
Iconic.
Mick Foley, absolutely. And then showing that Orton, he could go. He can go.
He could do the hardcore stuff too, because he took a freaking bump into the thumbtacks. Looked absolutely horrible.
Right. I think we watched that match a while back, didn't we?
We may have. I don't know. At least we've mentioned it on the show. I can't remember. This is episode, I think 122, if I remember correct. It could be wrong. But yeah, we've talked about a lot of different things. You've been on here for about what, a year plus now, right, Jo?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a couple breaks here and there, but I think we're back into getting back into a groove. And thank you to all who have listened so far this month. We've had a really good month here on the show. Plenty of listens. Tell your friends if you like the show. Tell your friends to listen to Sigdaddy's wrestling show. But other news, one more thing before we really dive into this Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy final deletion match. Next week's episode, we'll be talking about potential dream matches as announced on AEW Dynamite last Wednesday. The Forbidden Door is not open. It's been kicked down pretty hard. AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will be working together to put on a pay-per-view called Forbidden Door, June 26th, live from the United Center in Chicago and on pay-per-view worldwide via the BR app in the US and the Fight app internationally.
Excited for that.
That is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. There's so many potential matches we want to see on this show, and we're going to go over them next week, and it should be a heck of a time. So make sure to check that out next week when that drops. But dropping right now, I don't think it's really dropping right now, but we're dropping it like it's hot here on Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show with the Broken Universe. Broken Matt Hardy taking on Jeff Hardy in the final deletion. And just to give a little bit of a synopsis of this feud, the first match of this feud was an I Quit match where the winner gets the rights to the Hardy name. Matt becomes obsessed with this. When Jeff jumps off the ladder, not a ladder, but a staircase railing through a table. It was on the March 19th, 2016 episode of Impact, which ultimately led to Matt being broken. This match ended in a no contest, so no one got the rights to the Hardy name. And Matt, this became an obsession to beat Jeff and kind of eradicate him, wanting to erase him. We're better off delete him. Matt couldn't beat him. The next match they had was a Falls Count Anywhere Full Metal Mayhem match, which is ultimately a TLC match, typically what it was in Impact, but there was like a keyboard involved amongst other things in that match. Yeah, I think Jeff took a bump through the keyboard on a side effect. Matt lost that match, and then there was an ensuing match and a steel cage match. He lost to Jeff on the June 21st Impact, which leads us to this on the Hardy compound. Brother Nero, which would be later called, taking on Matt Hardy. And this is going to be one of the wilder matches. This is the first cinematic match we're doing a watch-along on this show, so it should be quite interesting. And this match, a lot of people didn't like it at the beginning, but I think people have grown to love it as times went along and seen its impact. No pun intended. Took place July 5th, 2016 on Impact Wrestling when Impact was on Pop TV. And it's time. It is time. About to give our commentary on the watch along. Jo, are you ready? Queued up with the video?
Have it right here.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Taking a look at the Hardy compound. They're celebrating Maxwell's birthday.
Oh, wow. That cake looks delicious.
Senor Benjamin became super popular, which I'm pretty sure is Rebby Hardy's dad. Is Matt sick? Matt's just motivated, but he is not sick. They're celebrating Maxwell's first birthday party here.
Aww.
King Maxwell. He gets an extraordinary xylophone.
Man, they really went all out for this birthday.
Hey, Hardy's do it big. He got the white streak in the hair. That's going to get the rights to the Hardy name. And it's all these events are going to be documented. And he has a candle, which will come into play later on. It's going to burn for eternity. And it's going to only be gone when Brother Nero is deleted. So there's some foreshadowing going on in this early portion. So pay attention, folks.
Excellent writing for the foreshadowing.
I a lot of this comes from I was listening to the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy with John Alba and Matt Hardy. It's his podcast. They were going over this in depth a while ago, I think about a month ago. So Jeff Hardy's doing his lawn. That is crazy.
I know. I saw that. It's like, I mean, Jeff Hardy's always been super artistic
and creative, of course.
Man, that is a lot of blue for an inside of a house.
And then we got Vanguard 1, V1.
See, we can't hear, but I'm pretty sure Jeff Hardy's playing that guitar really well.
Yeah. He's got a visitor. Vanguard 1 has his own personality, too, which is hilarious as well.
Right, it's a drone.
And then they look at all these little drones, which apparently Jeremy Borash got. This is like legit. He's destroying these things in his house. Like, then this was like, Impact didn't like fund this. It was like all funded by Jeff and Matt, I think Borash maybe, who works now for WWE.
Right, they were just doing this on their property and right now inside their house. Like, that's kind of crazy if you think about it.
With their own money.
Yeah.
This is really cool, actually. This like hologram.
See, I've been watching a lot of Star Wars lately, and I'm getting that kind of vibe from this.
He's still going after Vanguard. Damn, Jeff has a nice house.
Right?
I got an ad again. Four minutes exactly.
Me too.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Play. All right, Jeff's going to, dang, he's riding that dirt. He's trying to catch Vanguard 1. Can't get to him. He's flying on that thing. Matt's destroying his yard. What a jerk. The mower of lawns.
Man. Oh. What a
mower,
crime against lawn care.
the mower of lawns, man. What had become in the ultimate deletion. Rockstar Spud there we get to see for a second. All right, Senor Benjamin setting up the battlefield for massacre.
Ooh, not the kendo sticks.
Yep, but he's also got freaking, I forget what they're called.
Preparing the battlefield, obviously.
Ready, play. And there's gas. The gasoline. He's going to apply it generously.
Because it takes a lot of fuel to delete a brother. Everyone knows that.
He tried to delete him completely, eradicate him completely. The character work, Matt, here, he went full blown crazy here. I think he took, if I remember correctly, from not the Broken Life, but the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, podcast. He said he took it a lot from like vampire movies, I think.
Oh, I could see that. And
like True Blood or whatever it's called. That's the TV show. Wait,
I remember
this referee's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
That actually is kind of funny. Just a ref driving up to the scene.
Mm-hmm. And this is like, and they're using like car lights to keep the ring like lit, because this project took forever, and they did this like into the wee hours of the morning.
All right, I'm gonna say the production values look pretty good,
and
considering.
Considering
that this was, all done by Matt and Jeff, and you compare this to something that the WWE has done, they look almost similar, and I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it was only like 2 cameramen, I think, for this whole entire thing, plus the drone. And Matt's horribly playing a violin. Antonio Stradivari, who gave it to him in his past life or whatever, his other vessels. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come, which became freaking iconic.
I really do wish we would be able to watch this with the sound, because I loved the voice he always did.
Yeah. So good, man. Like, gosh. And just the only way they could get this thing over was like via social media and stuff, because they weren't getting any push from the television things. All right, we're about to get underway. Will Brother Nero be deleted or nah? Gosh, there's so many. This is like WB camera cut level.
That's what I'm saying. They did this by themselves. That's crazy.
No, I'm saying there was almost too many camera cuts at once. Actually, there is a lot of camera cuts in this. Imagine Jeff Hardy just doing a running splash. You don't see that very often.
Nope.
They have those tiki torches out there lit too. This apparently is from Matt's dad, like Matt and Jeff's dad, that he just had like in his shed, and he was going to get rid of it.
That little awning thing.
Yeah, he said that on Matt's podcast.
Kick out at 2.
It wouldn't be the last time kick out at 2. Jeez, twist of fate already. That was quick. Of course, Jeff kicks out. He ain't gonna not kick out.
They always kick out at 2.
Wow, the kendo stick's already out. What a jerk.
Ooh.
Right in the leg. My leg. What other plunder does Matt have in mind now? I think I've only watched this like 2 or 3 times in my life.
I'm trying to think. I think this is maybe the second time I've watched it.
Freaking straight up choking him with the ladder. I think that's been used. Is he telling him to die here? I think he just told Jeff to die.
Some bad blood, it seems.
Well, now Matt's biting. Side effect.
Oh, not the deadly side effect.
Jeff just twist a faded Matt. Oh, you know what the shirt off means? Swanton
Oh, swanton
bomb.
time.
Yep, he got it. Yeah, you know when they're kicking out of finishers, this is you're not gonna it's not gonna end normally.
Nope.
Twist of Fate stunner. I am not a fan of that.
No.
I've never been a big fan of the Twist of Fate like in a stunner motion.
It just doesn't look. It doesn't look like it hurts.
Well, unless like I don't know, it's like a jawbreaker, I guess you would call it. Oh, geez,
Oh, where's Jeff going?
up in the tree. Goodness gracious, he's up what fifth? I think he. Goodness, it's like halfway up the dang tree. Swanton. Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. That had to have been miserable. It also hurt Matt too on that spot. Oh gosh, I can imagine. Jeff took like a lot of that, it looked like.
Yeah.
All for our entertainment. What's Matt got now? Oh, it's a chair. Oh, he's got I forget what they're called. He's got freaking fireworks.
I'd say fireworks, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what Matt called them.
Oh my gosh.
That's a little comedic. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that's what they were aiming
Roman
for.
candles?
Yeah, Roman candles. Yeah.
Gee, many Christmas. That's the correct term, right?
Yeah, Roman candle. I thought you meant because Matt Hardy always had different names for things. I thought you were trying to come up with the names he called them.
Okay.
But yeah, Roman candles is right.
Because that thing had shot a ton of fireworks. This is a funny moment here coming up. What the heck? He's like a garden hoe.
I thought it was a rake.
It's over. Matt breaks character there for a second. And that was done deliberately. He's got Jeff's. Oh my gosh, Jeff's lighting him up now. Gosh, this is hilarious. And Matt's got the old, you know what they call it, Jo? The dilapidated boat.
Right, I couldn't remember.
It's what's its name?
Oh my god, I don't remember.
Skarsgård.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Up here we go. The sleeper's on. Up Lake of Reincarnation.
Yep, remember that one.
That lake was apparently just absolutely nasty.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
He's been flushed. And look who comes out. Jeff's alter ego. Willow the Wisp. I can't do his laugh.
God, that is a cool mask.
Oh, Jeff just got tased. Or did he tase Senor Benjamin?
I think they both got tased.
Jeff's got a flashlight. I mean, Matt's got a flashlight. Like, it's like some of these moments in this match make you laugh, and other ones are like you're actually like nervous, entertained, and that you're always entertained. It's just you're nervous and stuff at times. Oh, who's this? Oh, he's gonna pin Brother Nero, isn't he? Or so he thinks.
That's 3.
Oh, it's Senor Benjamin.
What? Plot twist.
He's like, shit. Where's Brother Nero? Jeff apparently built this, I think, all with his like backhoe. This a big old sand pile. Dug this out. And my source is the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast. So they went super in depth on this.
See, that sounds like a pretty reliable source.
Yeah. Well, when it's coming straight from the source, Matt Hardy. And I think Matt's like legitimately getting choked here pretty much. Oh, here we go. Jeff's structure. Big symbol.
Don't do it, Jeff. Don't do it.
Think about your family. God damn it. But look, the candle.
The one from the beginning.
Jeff's going up. He's got a swanton. Matt. Oh, no. Oh, ow.
Oh.
Took a big spill. Matt apparently burnt the shit out of himself here.
I say they're really close to that fire.
Okay, yeah, Matt is like, they're like extremely close. That's it. Matt has extinguished Brother Nero. He has deleted him.
Delete.
Delete, 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 delete. It's over. Oh man, that's fun. Back to watch that match, and how cinematic wrestling has evolved since then. Really.
Oh, for sure. Because I remember first watching that. I was in that group that would say, "This isn't a wrestling match. Like this. Like what is this?" But then as time goes on, you can think. That's what's great about wrestling. You can kind of control the medium more so than you could with other sports or sports entertainment. But I've definitely come to appreciate what it's done for the industry.
Well, especially like during the pandemic, we relied a lot on cinematic wrestling, a lot. Like
right,
and it probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't so the pandemic wouldn't have gone as well if this didn't exist. Like there's been a couple of cinematic matches prior to this, but not filmed in this specific way that I know of. And this changed the game for sure.
So the level of production, I'm still in awe of what they were able to accomplish.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, what they were able to accomplish. You can laugh. You can have fun with this match. Definitely go check it out if you haven't already. It's almost 6 years old now. And Brother Nero and Matt Hardy are both working for AEW now, which is quite interesting to say the least, because Matt didn't really surprise me because his creative juices just they flow too much for WWE's liking it anymore.
They were stifling him.
They weren't letting him be him. And if Vince doesn't get the character, you're pretty much it's going to not work.
Dead in the water.
It's not going to matter how over it is. But yeah, this ultimately led to the Hardys winning the TNA World Tag Team Championships, the Expedition of Gold, which led them eventually to their contracts ran out in Impact. They signed with Ring of Honor for about a month or two. They worked there. They won the tag titles. They beat the one from the Young Bucks. They had this epic ladder match WrestleMania weekend at Super Card of Honor 2017, where they lost to the Young Bucks in a ladder match. And then the next night at WrestleMania, they appeared in another ladder match and won the Raw Tag Team Championships. And so their Expedition of Gold went quite well after this. ultimately Matt would turn babyface after this match. Matt and Jeff, as Matt was kind of in control of Jeff for quite a while. Jeff was Matt's servant, and if I remember correctly. And then they eventually became a tag team, and then it was Brother Nero and Broken Matt. And they did that. I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete, that kind of thing. But this ultimately led to the Hardys getting re-signed with WWE, and it certainly helped wrestling as a whole moving forward. This match, the crazy thing, this match had to get over with, I kind of mentioned it, but this had to get over with social media because Impact was not getting nationally televised at this point.
No, I think, at this stage, Impact wasn't where it used to be, so they really couldn't push it if they wanted to, really.
Yeah, they had to push it on social media and via YouTube and all that. And a lot of, I think wrestlers in WWE even watched the match, and they were quite entertained by it as well, if memory does serve me right. But this got over 2 million views, I think, on YouTube, if I had the numbers correct on there. But that's wild for an Impact Wrestling video getting over 2 million views. It's got to be pretty good to do that.
Right. I mean, 2 million's good in any regard, but on Impact, it was good.
Especially when they were in dire straits financially and all that and so kudos to Matt and Jeff Hardy. And then at this broken era of Matt Hardy and Broken Brother Nero brought so many GIFs that now exist in the world of professional wrestling, and we got to thank Matt for that, because he went full bore into this character, and can't thank him enough for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely one of the bright spots in wrestling in recent memory.
Character-wise, he is one of the best. Character evolution, he's very good about that, as well as Chris. I don't think quite as good as Chris Jericho, but dang, he's pretty dang good at it.
Very, very close.
Very, very close. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show. Hope you liked this watch-along of the final deletion. Brother Nero getting deleted by Broken Matt Hardy. And coming up next week, as we said earlier, we're going to talk about our dream matches, what we hope to see at Forbidden Door on June 26th, the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling crossover show at the United Center. Really looking forward to that. And J.O., where can people find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at Jeremy Ordas, all lowercase.
All right. Did anyone come at you for your movie take?
They did not. And the only reasoning I could see behind that are people are cowards. MCU fans are cowards.
They were afraid. They were afraid of you. And sorry, last episode, I forgot to mention this before we started recording this episode, but before we started the match, I said 2017 last episode. It was 2016. I know I was wrong. I admit my mistakes. It was 2016. I got my years all mixed up for some reason, but that's what happens when you get older. You mix up years, of course.
I mean, all these years just blend together at a certain point.
Especially during the pandemic. That's all kind of one big blur that happened. But what happened here on Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show will not be forgotten here soon. But you can find Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Sigdaddy Wrestle. Been posting more content on TikTok here recently. Been getting some micro brawlers in the mail and getting some other wrestling merch. I think I'm going to do another one here soon, but I did an unboxing here this past weekend. So look forward to doing more of those. Maybe start doing some commentary on TikTok as well on pro wrestling. But we'll see. We'll see. It's mostly my collection of micro brawlers, but we'll continue seeing what happens on TikTok, just having fun with it. And on Instagram, you can find Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show. If I haven't mentioned it already, at sigdaddy.wrestle. You can find the podcast anywhere you get your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, the iHeartRadio app, Anywhere you get your podcast, you can find Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show. And if you like the show, make sure to leave it a 5-star review, like RVD hitting that 5-star frog splash. Give Sigdaddy's Wrestling Show 5 stars. But until next time, this is Sigdaddy alongside Jo. Thank you so much for joining me again, Jo. I forgot to mention that before we go. Thank you for joining me, Jo.
Always a pleasure.
But until next time, that's Jo. I'm Skylar Sigdaddy Sigmund signing off saying thanks for listening and so long, everybody.